This is Kelly.
And this is Sue.
And
welcome to
Front Porch AF,
where we welcome friends and neighbors, gather to have a drink and a laugh and figure out
how to solve all the problems of the world. Oh, I think that's 2 times in a row.
2 times in a row. You have not screwed it up. All right. We're keeping track.
Good for me.
Hey.
How's it going, Sue?
Actually, it's going hot, but I'd like to thank whoever invented air conditioning. I'm a northern gal, you know, in Chicago, in the Chicago area along the lake. We think 80 is, we're dying. We're dying. And the humidity is 12.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that is not here.
No, it's not the heaters. It's the humidity. We are in Nashville. Yep. Let's see. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm like you. I'm hot. I've been out in it all weekend and yeah.
I've been watching you out in it all weekend. It just makes me hot, says the neighbor. Drink specials?
Well, today, guess what? I'm having a Miller Lite.
Oh, my Lord. Stop the presses.
Stop the press. But my huggy today is from the Thirsty Whale, which is the coolest bar in Bar Harbor, Maine.
Maine.
Yeah, it's one of the places Piper and I always go. It's a total local spot, like a D's there. And, because Bar Harbor's like a giant tourist town.
Well, didn't the Bushes have a place? The Bush #1?
I'm not sure.
George?
I don't follow them.
Well, they were also out of office by the time. Yeah. Anyway, I
don't know. So this is a Thirsty Whale. If you're ever in Bar Harbor, Maine, and you like to go to like local joints, that's the place to be.
Okay, I like to go to local joints. I like to drink.
What about you?
And I know our audience will be just so surprised. I'm having a little vodka, but I'm having cranberry juice with it this time because I want to slow the roll on getting, because we have a guest. I don't want to get sloshed with a guest.
Right.
Until later. Neighborhood notes.
Well, you go first.
Me? Well, we're both going to talk about last weekend's Pride.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome, wasn't it?
Oh, that was the most fun. I was a guest of the Moto Sister Collective that led off Nashville's Pride Parade. It was fantastic. We were even ahead of the mayor.
We were ahead of everybody. We're the girl motorcycle club, and they let us. The first year we did it, we were in the middle, and the bikes just get too hot, and so they let us go first, which is awesome.
Well, it was a great start, and there were so many people waving and being so happy.
It's just joy,
and there will be video and photos on our website, which is hit it, Kelly.
frontporchaf.com. Anywhere you get the World Wide Web.
And the interwebs.
Yeah, so we did Pride, and our special guest, I believe she was at Pride too, so she can talk about her experience.
That's right.
And then
Dee's after party.
The Dee's after party was rocking. It was so fun. We had a DJ, and then we had some drag queens. And
was there any drinking involved?
There were Jell-O shots.
There were Jell-O.
Amy had a refrigerator full of Jell-O shots, and she stayed up all night.
And they were all in rainbow colors.
And it was red, orange, jelly, green. It was really cool. It was a fun day.
So look for us next year again.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a little something here about a true neighborhood. I mean, like here on the Bend. Tell me.
So I've been off. My company shut down this week, so I've been off all week, and I had several vacation projects, and one of them was cleaning up around my barn, and I wanted to put in some gravel. So I spread 44 tons of gravel yesterday and finished up today.
16 tons, and what do you get?
A lot of fucking gravel is all I gotta say. It's a lot. But the thing was, the dump truck, I had 2 triaxle loads of this gravel brought, and by the second time the driver came, we were friends, and he was showing me pictures of his dogs and everything, and I was saying this, I was doing this and that, and he just looks at me and he said, "I think you just like to run heavy equipment." I said, you might be right.
You might be right. Okay, I got nothing to compare with that. I have no heavy equipment here. My scale. My bathroom scale. Okay, but last night was 4th of July.
Oh my gosh.
And the fireworks. Our neighborhood seems to think that the downtown second largest fireworks in the United States, that display is not good enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough fireworks. So there's a school like right adjacent to our street, and they take over the parking lot and they have their own fireworks.
Yeah.
The only one who was not bothered by the fireworks in our house, all the cats hid. Mark and I were going, oh, no. Daisy, the 14-year-old dog, slept through it.
Wonder if she's got some hearing.
Oh, she does. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what else happened this week?
No, what?
Dee's canceled the talent show.
Oh, my gosh. We may need to have a whole pod about that.
Oh, my God. And I had everything all prepared.
Hey, you know what? This actually feeds, I mean, this just directly dovetails into our listener feedback.
Yeah.
Mailbag.
Okay. But I got to tell you, I'm going to share with you what it was I was going to do.
What were you going to do?
I was going to give a dramatic reading of an Edgar Allan Poe poem while I knitted Madame Defarge like on the stage. And it wasn't Once Upon a Midnight Dreary while I pined weak and weary. It's
so
another
sad that they canceled that.
I'll do it for you privately.
I gotta go out of town.
I gotta wash my hair.
I'm gonna wash my hair.
Speaking of dovetailing neatly.
So I actually got a couple of really cool feedback items. One of them was my friend Carrie from California, and she's out of the country at the moment, but she was listening to the Olivia Hill podcast, and her quote was, "What a great show." And Olivia is so brave. She admires her courage and how she faced all the hate and created the new chosen family.
And that was the podcast that was up just before this one,
yeah.
Right, for our Pride special.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Were there any other feedback, Kelly?
Okay, so unfortunately, there's this other feedback that I am required to deliver.
You are loath.
I am required to deliver this, no matter how much it hurts. But my friend Casey listened to she was here for Pride all weekend and was she's from Alabama and listened to the podcast on the way home. And I got a text.
Go ahead. I know it pains you.
Finished listening to the pod. That was great. But Sue definitely needs to sing more.
Okay, Casey, your check is in the mail.
That figured it must be something like that.
Oh my God. I just got our very first YouTube comment.
Oh.
By the way, we filmed this little porch talk special after we got some discouraging words from new outreach on a Facebook post.
Not our normal listeners.
Listeners.
They had some words to say about
issues.
Olivia Hill.
Olivia claiming that she wasn't a female anymore. And they weighed in, shall we say, with some negativity.
Yes.
Quite a bit of negativity. And you and I sat on the porch. We filmed a little thing about how we're going to respond to this, which is up on our website, frontporchaf.com, or wherever you get your videos. Anyway, we got our first comment this morning. I opened up, it says a YouTube comment. It's international. Josh says, great video. Love from Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Aaron go bra. Or when I'm there, Aaron go braless. I've been seeing that since I was in high school.
I really think you might have missed your calling for the talent show. You probably should do something like
braless.
Oh my gosh!
There is no lead into our special guest. You're the showrunner on this. You take the lead.
I mean, there is this kind of ties in, is related to our last. This is kind of our wrap up of our Pride season show, and today we are really honored to have Kathy Halbrooks with us. And Kathy's a pretty special lady.
Thank you.
She is. She's from Alabama, but she's still pretty special.
Apologies to all of our Alabama listeners out there.
But she's been an ally to the LGBTQ community for many, many years, and formerly part of PFLAG That's Parents and Friends of Lesbian and Gays, is what it officially stands for, right?
It used to stand for that. And we dropped that part because it didn't have anything to do with gender identity. And now there are a lot more ways that people identify. So really right now it doesn't stand for anything.
It's just PFLAG.
PFLAG.
And I wondered about that. So, but Kathy's been involved with PFLAG for over 20 years. She's served as the president for the Nashville PFLAG organization. She's the former regional director, which means many states here in the South, and currently serves on the national board for she's currently the community liaison for Nashville, and she's on the national board for PFLAG. Another thing that she's done, she's just an amazing ally. She's also served as Middle Tennessee coordinator for Tennessee Transgender Political Coalition. And this organization is all about education and advocacy for transgender-related legislation at the federal, state, and local levels. And, and in times like this, I think that it's so important. I mean, there's just such an attack on the transgender community. But before we kick off the show, I want to read a quote that Kathy didn't say this to me, but I read this and she said, and that just hit home for me, and I think it's pretty special. Anytime a marginalized group moves forward, it's a move forward for everyone. And I love that. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so nice to have you. So, so tell us about yourself and how did you get involved with this?
Well, I worked for 36 years for the metropolitan government of Nashville and Davidson County. And in 2002, there was a bill before the city council to add protections for sexual orientation for employees. And I had always had a soft spot in my heart for marginalized communities, but I'd never really done anything actively. But when I found out that Fred Phelps from Westboro Baptist Church was going to be here, I decided I have to go stand in support of the bill.
He's such a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a prince. He's a prince.
And I went on the third reading when it would have become a law, but it didn't pass. But I'll add in that a bill passed in 2009 that includes both sexual orientation and gender identity. But with that, it was a very small thing I did, but somehow it gave me courage to want to get involved more with something that I hoped made our society better. And the LGBTQ plus issues just started coming into my life. And one thing that happened was I met the man who was president of PFLAG Nashville, and he said, why don't you come to a meeting? We need more allies because I'm straight, I'm cisgender, which means I'm not transgender, and I don't have any children. So I started going to meetings, and the more I went to meetings, the more I heard people's personal stories, which we say the heart of PFLAG is personal stories. And it became more involved and more passionate about it. When I first got involved, I didn't really know anybody who was LGBTQ plus, but then I formed friendships with people, and I just felt more and more passionately about equality. And when the issues kept coming into my life, I decided, okay, that's what I need to do.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Well, so we just touched on just a second ago about PFLAG and how in the early days it meant, it stood for this thing, and now it doesn't. So what is it now? What is PFLAG? What do you do?
Well, I do tell people that it used to be Parents, Families, Friends of Lesbians and Gays because that kind of explains it. But it was started by the mother of a gay son in 1973. Jean Manford marched in a parade, a Christopher Street parade, and those later became pride parades. She carried a sign saying, Parents of Gays unite in support of our children. Her son was gay, and he had been assaulted in a demonstration, pushed down some stairs by a firefighter. And communication was so different then. No internet, 3 TV stations. And she happened to see it on the news. So she marched in this parade, and so many people came up and talked to her that she had a meeting with 20 people. And now there are over 200,000 members of PFLAG and over 350 chapters all around the country and in other countries. And PFLAG, the tenets are support, education, and advocacy. In the heart of what we do, we have meetings, we sit in circle and share stories, and people can get support and affirmation from other people who've had similar situations to them. And I think of support, education kind of overlapping because we're not therapists or doctors, but people do learn from other people in the meetings. And we do things like the podcast. We've taught to schools and businesses. And on our website, PFLAG Nashville, and on PFLAG National, you'll find downloadable pamphlets and booklets. They're free. And links to other organizations, to movies and documentaries and things. And so you get education and support there as well. And with advocacy, we can advocate for or against legislation, but we can't advocate for or against candidates or parties because we're 501c3, we're nonpartisan. And we do try to stay in touch with Tennessee Equality Project. And that organization works a lot with the legislature. And we try to stay in touch with them to see what's going on. And we're not affiliated with the religion. We welcome people of all religions or people who are non-believers. So,
yeah. Well, so what's it been like in Tennessee in the past
terrible
2 years? What kind of? Yeah,
because there's been so many bad bills, and so many of those the last couple of years passed. Yeah. And over the years that I've been involved, occasionally we'll have a good bill, but I've not seen any pass. Yeah. It's always been the bad bills. And when the political climate in the country changed to be more attacks on LGBTQ plus people, it kind of, the legislators just seem to get more aggressive in passing bills that are negative. And the particular one is the ban on health care for transgender minors.
Yeah. Yeah, we touched on that.
We did in the last show. Is there if I can interject here, is there a story of something typical or that has stood out to you for somebody who has come to PFLAG for support and kind of what that process is and how that person's life changed?
Well, we have some people now who are on our board, 2 couples. One couple has a transgender daughter and the other couple has a transgender grandson. And when people come, luckily, most of the time that I've seen that people come, they want to be supportive and they want to be in a good place, but they don't know anything about the issues. There's a lot involved, like healthcare. They worry about things happening in school. They worry about their kids or their loved ones being bullied. And I've heard so many people say when they come in, it's people that are in our group on a regular basis, they see people come in, they're really nervous. They're really, you can tell by looking at them. And as we get into the meeting and they find that they're going to be around people who support them and they start learning about things, you can just kind of see that people calm down. And they're really, even after a first meeting, they'll be a lot more comfortable. And like I said, both these couples are now very active on our board. And so it's just helped them to support their loved one. Mm-hmm. And we do welcome people wherever they are along their journey. Sometimes I wish more people who were not in a really good place would come, but we would welcome people we don't criticize people. We try to meet them where they are. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a hard thing that sometimes for people to get there. It's a journey for everybody. It's a journey for the person, the individual who's LGBTQ plus, and then it's a journey for the family to come along with them for sure. What can you tell us? Do you have any good stories, specific stories about people or things that have happened that you inspired you or continue to inspire you?
Also, what happens, I've had things when I've gone to conventions or conferences. A few years ago, Dr. Jill Biden spoke at our convention. She spoke
She's
the
pretty cool.
last convention, but this was years ago. She also spoke, and they had to go in and sweep the room and everything for security. And she announced that one of her Secret Service men came up and said, "PFLAG saved my life." And even hearing that in different places, I hear that so much where people say, "I came out to my parents with a PFLAG card in my hand," or it saved my life. And that is really wonderful. And I always try as an ally to not speak for the community, but speak in support of the community. So that's something that I try to be very careful about. But seeing people who just see the changes that come in families and how they get closer together and they get better able to communicate. That's just really, really wonderful.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what are you up to these days? I know you're on the regional board and but you seem like you are really into this. So I know you must be up to something.
Trying to book a time.
Yeah.
with you and your schedule. So.
Well, now I've termed out of some positions, like on the board of PFLAG Nashville. I'm still the community liaison, but I'm not actually on the board, and I termed out as regional director, but I'm still on the national board. And we meet quarterly. We meet 2 times a year in person and 2 times a year virtually. And I kind of have it in my mind. I hope to get a little bit more involved with Tennessee Equality Project next legislative session, because there's other bills that are going to come up that didn't pass this year. And I think it's important too when allies speak out, especially when you can say, I don't have any personal reason. I mean, I don't have a child. I'm not LGBTQ plus. And say, I just am doing this because I feel like it's the right thing. I think that is important for people to do. And so I hope we have our national convention in Chicago in October. And you can look on PFLAG National website if anybody would want to go to that. We're having that in October.
And that website are literally the letters PFLAG.org.
Yeah.
Right. Because PFLAG, there are no vowels.
That's true.
There's one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
And there's an A in there. It's okay.
Thank you.
So, Kathy, I think you make a very good point that as an ally speaking about this stuff, sometimes it's easier to talk to people about it than being in it and trying to talk about it. A lot of our listeners are, allies. Obviously, I'm a lesbian, so people that listen to us know that. But as we mentioned earlier, we're kind of getting out of our silo. We've got a lot of new listeners. We got people who might not look at life the way we are, have the same experiences we do. And you have been doing this for a long time, so I know you must come across some folks like that. So what kind of things do you say to people who either haven't interacted with the LGBTQ plus community or maybe come in with some negative ideas about it? How do you approach that conversation?
Well, some people have never even met somebody who's LGBTQ.
They have. They just don't know it.
True. That's true.
Good points.
That is true. And but particularly sometimes trans people. And so I've tried before. It doesn't seem to always be successful, but to bring some studies, like scientific studies and stories from people.
Yeah.
Yes. So that somebody can really get an idea of the truth, because there's a lot of misinformation. And a few years ago when there was a bill, it was the bathroom bill that was up. Yeah. There was a young trans man who was still in high school, and he went to visit one of the more moderate legislators that had been against most of the stuff. And once he met him, the legislator came over to our side because he had never really met anybody.
Yeah. It's hard to hate somebody when you get to know them.
Yeah.
You know?
When you have a face to it.
Yeah. When you put a face to it and it's not just, words on paper somewhere. So Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of times if I do something, speak somewhere or help do training or something, I generally try to get somebody in the communities because I think actually meeting somebody and actually hearing real stories, because like I said, there's just so much misinformation. And if you can get facts out there, like I said, unfortunately, that doesn't always work as well as I'd like.
Welcome to America.
Exactly.
So I do have a question. If somebody can they just come to a meeting anonymously and just drop in to see what's going on, to see how somebody might be able to help them deal with a loved one or a family member who is in the process of coming out or is trying to make a decision? I mean, there's all sorts of there's a spectrum here.
Yeah. Well, for safety reasons, right now, we don't put the location of the meetings on our social media, but people can call or look on the website, PFLAG Nashville.org, and usually people email us and I give them the location. I'll go ahead here. We meet the third Tuesday of each month from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at 1704 Charlotte Avenue, and we meet on the first floor. And people can just show up. We also have people who will talk one-on-one with somebody if they need it, if they're nervous about coming to a meeting, or sometimes if they don't want to wait to the meeting. If something's going on that there's more of a crisis, we're happy to get somebody to talk, and we try to get people who've had similar experiences to talk.
All of this will be on the website, by the way, and in our socials, all the contact information so that people can click in.
Yeah.
Kathy, how often do you think you use the word crisis and there's somebody comes out and then it's a young person. How frequent is that, and how frequent are you supporting?
I can think, luckily, of not a lot of times when there's been somebody who's like perhaps thinking about suicide, and I've tried to connect those people immediately with somebody that's more trained to handle that. And occasionally we've had people call and there'll be a young person under 18 who's in crisis, who's in a dangerous situation in their home or who's about to be thrown out of their home. And Launchpad or the Oasis Center are both places that we refer people.
Yeah, those are great organizations. And the Moto Sisters this year, that was our charity. We did Oasis Center, and we packed bags. We packed little bags of food and stuff for them. So awesome. Kathy, thank you so much. We're going to wrap this up. Before we end this, tell us about your Pride experience.
Yes.
It was really good. One thing I do miss is marching in the parade, because 2.5 years ago I had open heart surgery, and so I'm really supposed to avoid humidity.
You picked the wrong city.
So, but I did work our booth for a while, and we had people who marched, and one of our members is in charge. We have this huge gay, flag that people carry. It takes about 60 people to carry it.
Yeah.
I know that.
I've seen pictures of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so our group was in charge of that flag. And so I really always enjoy going, because there's just there's so much positivity, and people are so happy, and people are so accepting. And we have a new person who's relatively young, who's on our board, and has been coming, and she's trans, and she was just so happy. I mean, to have that experience and be in that atmosphere. And I always feel better. I always feel kind of like I've taken a drug or something to be happy.
Well, it's true.
It feels
you
like
get
that.
high. Yeah. You really do. You get high from that. Thank you, Kathy. This has been really informative, and I know I'm going to learn a lot more when I delve into pflag.org.
Yes.
Or pflagnashville.org.
Yes.
That's right.
And we'd love to have anybody who needs us, or people where there's a saying like, when you don't need PFLAG needs you. So a lot of people, like I said, who came to us for support are now on our board and helping other people.
Excellent.
So there's opportunities for people that you can donate money,
Yeah.
all sort of whatever
And good
fashion.
vibes.
And good vibes.
And tell people that you're an ally.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
So thank you. Allies. Yeah. Here we go. The good kind of allies.
That's
Not
right.
not the there are no bad allies.
There's not bad.
There are no
allies.
bad allies.
Okay.
Unless you're for a softball team or a baseball team that I don't like, St. Louis Cardinals. But we'll just drop
We'll
that
let
there.
you keep that. Okay.
Okay, so we got the taking action. Tell them about some upcoming shows. Kelly?
Well, we've got Planned Parenthood coming up, which is
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
a really interesting show because there's obviously a lot going on
Yes.
with that
Yep.
and possible defunding and
Oh.
what the ability of states to defund. So we got Francie Hunt coming and super excited to have her on the show to hear about when we kind of thought of having her, this legislation hadn't
No.
passed, and so we'll talk about her walk across Tennessee and what the climate is, what they're going to do. They're not going anywhere.
And,
Yeah.
If it's okay if I add something, Planned Parenthood is a big provider of transgender health care. So
Yeah.
we've been really supportive of them too. And so we appreciate
Good.
them a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's what we're hoping to really bring forth is like they provide health care.
Yeah.
Like a lot
care.
of women get their
Health.
basic
Where did I
healthcare
go
there.
in the late 1960s and early 1970s for all of your women's healthcare needs?
Planned
it was
Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
The other show that we've got coming up is Getting Older Ain't for Sissies. Guess who's the showrunner on that one is? That would be
Yeah.
me. And we have exclusive content for people who get our newsletter. We send our newsletter just once for each show that goes up. We do not spam you. So go to frontporchaf.com, sign up. Please share us. I mean, not physically share us. I have a husband. I can't, I'm not available. Call me. And send us your ideas for shows.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've actually several of these shows have been suggested by friends and listeners.
Yeah.
You've got some stuff about our socials?
Yeah. You can find us on all the socials, Instagram, the Facebook.
I believe that was an inaccurate statement.
Not all the socials.
Not all the socials.
Everything but Twitter.
Everything but Twitter.
Although I am starting to feel a little bit bad for Elon after the breakup.
Yeah. Boy, I would, he's going to have to return the ring. So until next time.
Yeah. Until we gather again on our front porch, our audio front porch.
Grab a drink and solve all the problems of the world. Cheers,
Cheers,
y'all.
y'all.